it's kind of twofold. One, the history of animation often is about kind of bringing things to life, reanimating things. Animation is a pretty labor-intensive process, and so you would only do it if you really needed it, especially in early cinema and early film. And so it was often to bring ghosts to life, or to make the impossible possible. And so working directly with the museum and kind of bringing things that maybe sometimes feel static back to life, whether back to their original, purposes and uses, using, music of the instruments that haven't been played, and that are silent. Kind of the idea of reanimation fits really, really well with the Wistariahurst Museum and with museums generally. The second half is at the community partnership event, I got a chance to talk to Megan, the museum director, and she seemed really excited and open to, students interpreting the museum, and I liked that creative approach, kind of allowing students to also, respond to whatever is interesting to them in the space, and create animations that are, playful, and, explore various elements of the museum.
This is the intro to animation class.
And we're making animations for the museum. This is my inspiration. I just really liked how it looked and I could just see it moving. It's really pretty but also kind of surreal too. And I think it's all the detail that really draws me to it. So I think that's why I'm animating it.
Music could travel through the halls. That you could probably hear it here and there in the library. Well, my inspiration is this room. What I was drawn to was the fireplace, because I thought it was cool that they have so many fireplaces in here, but I got haunted mansion vibes from the fireplace and the portraits. Since we see it now, it has all the Halloween decorations on it, cobwebs. I want to try and flip it so that you can see it how it was beforehand, before all the renovations. So from the present day back to when they were first building the house, that sort of idea.
I'm going to be animating the wallpaper behind me. I was initially drawn to it because I really like the way it's textured on. I believe they did almost a spray paint with stencils where each color is an individual layer that's been laid over the wallpaper, which I thought was cool. And it's got a lot of just cool foliage and nature that I liked. And I thought that the swans going down the lake would be a cool movement to animate. And yeah, I just thought it was really cool, really beautiful, unique thing to exist in a house, these big wallpapers. And so having all of this art is almost in a way a restriction, but a good restriction. I have to make something that I find in here, so you have to work with tools and art styles that you wouldn't necessarily do without that restriction, which is fun.
I think there's a great mix. I think there's, we're going to have hopefully a robbery at the frog bank. There's a taxidermied frog bank in addition to the circus. And so there'll be kind of, very playful animations, potentially some kind of spooky animations, maybe some experimental work. I think it's really great to see all of the students kind of bring their own interests to the museum and to the work at hand. And I can see everyone's individuality coming out in each project as they start to make their storyboards and plan what they're working on.
I like how the house has grown over time and gotten added onto as the years went by and your family changed and stuff. And I also really like a lot of there's a lot of really cool details in the architecture of the building and stuff they have. I really like this statue over here, and the staircase, all of that stuff on the ceiling. So I wanted something with that, and also probably with the flowers. I love the wisteria growing on the outside and how the vines climb on the building. I think it's a really good visual, and so I want to do something with that.
I inspire a lot of my work based off bugs and animals, but I think comedy ties into a big part in my life. I tend to use comedy as almost like escapism from, I don't know, reality, I guess.
I felt like it was more of it gave me more of a reason to accomplish something and get me out there, especially as an artist. And it was a good experience for me, very expansive. However they like to benefit from it is however they want. I'm just glad that I got the opportunity to work with them and make something to help them with their museum.
it's nice to think that this work will have a life beyond the class, and that also the students are forming connections as artists with local institutions where they live, which can often be a major barrier for students who are starting out in the arts. It's intimidating. How do you talk to an institution? How do you, make a proposal? How do you draw inspiration from the world around you and then translate that into something tangible and meaningful, not just for yourself, but for others? That's a huge gap to bridge. So it feels really amazing that I'm able to kind of facilitate that crossing for my students. There'll be a showing of the animations, but some of them also might be permanently installed in the space, and then the student gets credit for that as an artist and as an animator in a museum, which is extremely cool. I feel fantastic. I feel like students put in so much work, and getting down to the wire, there are tech issues, everything, the whole book gets thrown at you of things that can go wrong, but everyone persevered, figured out how to export, how to do audio, and everything came together really, really beautifully. And it was great to not only, see the animations on the big screen, but also hear the students articulate, their thoughts about the animation, the process, and all the background and stuff that went into it. So overall, I feel really, really proud of what they accomplished.
This felt like really rewarding, seeing people actually get to enjoy my project and see my work, and people laughed at it. So it just felt, it was a really nice experience.